भारत माता की, भारत माता की, भारत माता की. Please be seated. Thank you. With this noble thought, let us start this historical program by lighting of lamp. I request our chief guest, Honorable former President of India, Shri Ramnath Kovind ji, and Honorable Governor of Bihar, Shri Rajendra Vishwanath Arlekar ji, and all the honorable dignitaries to grace this occasion by lighting the lamp. With the lighting of this lamp, we pray, let peace and harmony prevail over negativity and bring positivity into our lives. Let us seek the blessing of the divine. Asatoma sadgamaya tamsoma jyotirgamaya मृत्युमा मृतम गमया. मुझे असत्य से सत्य की ओर ले चलो, अंधकार से उजाले की ओर ले चलो, मृत्यु से अमरता की ओर ले चलो. इसी विश्वास के साथ इस विश्वास के दीप को हम जला रहे हैं. और I would like to request all the audience to give a big hand of applause. इस विशेष क्षण को हम सादर नमन करते हैं, अभिनंदन करते हैं. Thank you so much. It gives us immense pleasure to welcome the August gathering for the Vaishali Festival of Democracy. And now, I would like to request Acting Vice Chancellor of Nalanda University, Professor Abhay Kumar Singh, to felicitate the honorable dignitaries on the dais with bouquet, angvastram, and memento. Our Honorable former President of India, Shri Ramnath Kovind. Professor Abhay Kumar Singh, Vice Chancellor, Nalanda University, to welcome our honorable dignitaries on the dais with bouquet, memento, and angvastram. Honorable former President of India, Shri Ramnath Kovind. And now with a memento, Honorable Governor of Bihar, Shri Rajendra Vishwanath Arlekar. First of all, with a bouquet, angvastram, and memento. Honorable Chief Minister of Assam, Shri Hemanta Biswa Sharma, with bouquet. Professor Abhay Kumar Singh, Vice Chancellor, Nalanda University, is welcoming our dignitaries. Honorable Chief Minister of Assam, Shri Hemanta Biswa Sharma. Srimati Meenakshi Lekhi, Honorable Minister, Minister of Culture and External Affairs, Government of India. With a bouquet, angvastram, and with a memento, Dr. Vinay Sahasrabudhe, Honorable President of ICCR. With a bouquet, angvastram, and memento. Shri Kumar Tuhin, Honorable DG, ICCR. Shri Kumar Tuhin, Honorable DG ICCR, with a bouquet, Angvastram and memento. Professor Abhay Kumar Singh is welcoming him. His Excellency, Ambassador of Argentina, Mr. Hugo Javier Gobi. His Excellency, Ambassador of Argentina. His Excellency, Ambassador of Chile, Mr. Juan Rolando Angula Monsalve. His Excellency, Ambassador of Chile. With a bouquet, Angvastram and memento. And now, His Excellency, Ambassador of Egypt, Mr. Wal Muhammad Awad Hamid. His Excellency, Dr. Shankar Prasad Sharma, Ambassador of Nepal. Ambassador of Nepal, His Excellency Dr. Shankar Prasad Sharma. His Excellency Mr. Ashok Milinda Moragore, High Commissioner of Sri Lanka. And Professor Shanti Shri Dhulipudi Pandit, Honorable Vice Chancellor of JNU. Thank you so much, sir. Professor Abhay Kumar Singh. Thank you so much. Each of us sitting here is privileged to witness the moment which is not just enshrined in the glorious history of Vaishali, but also enthroned in the legacy of democracy and heritage of the state of Bihar. I would request VC of Nalanda University, Honorable Professor Abhay Kumar Singh for welcome speech.
नमस्कार महामहिम राज्यपाल श्री अर्लेकर जी, महामहिम पूर्व राष्ट्रपति श्रीमान कोविंद जी, माननीय मुख्यमंत्री महोदय श्रीमान शर्मा जी, माननीय मंत्री महोदया श्रीमती लेखी जी, माननीय आईसीसीआर अध्यक्ष डॉक्टर सहस बुद्धे जी, ऑल एक्सेलेंसीज, रेस्पेक्टेड वीसी प्रोफेसर पंडित, DG ICCR Shri Tuhin and former Vice Chancellor Professor Singh. A very warm welcome from Nalanda University to all the distinguished souls gracing the occasion. This day is a celebration of democracy, a day to appreciate the sublimity that a state can attain in the realm of governance. Democracy where the rule of law is perfected by the voice of the people, and where the citizens' participation is involved in nation building. Conversely, where the nation's glory is shared by a populace, and where the common man's spirit is ignited with national pride. Such is our Bharat, today a pride of democracy. And for us, our constitution is a life fountain sustaining these noble ideas. Our modern aspirational Bharat takes inspiration from civilizational Bharat. Long ago, in ancient days, the democratic concepts originated in the Vedic Upanishadic times and manifested in the Vedic Sabha and Samitis. The Raj Rishis placed ethics above authority, and that reflects the Sengol, the scepter. The ancient Ganaraj of the Lichavis of Vaishali, the Shakyas, the Mals of Pava and Kushinagar, and the Nayas of Kundarpur and Videha of Mithila evolved in that pristine milieu. Our nation prides in the land of Bihar, the birthplace of democracy, where the National Nalanda University is situated. It's the International Nalanda University. Sincere thanks to Honorable President of ICCR, Dr. Sahas Budheji, for his initiative, as we are fortunate to celebrate the Festival of Democracy here in the Nalanda University. This also gives us the opportunity to welcome the dignitaries and excellencies in this unique net zero green campus of the revived world-famed Center of Learning. For all credit goes to the former Vice Chancellor, Professor Sunayana Singh ji. Honorable Dais, you have lit the Mangal Deep, and the Providence will show us the way. Your auspicious presence in this university, the place of intellectual freedom, is a moment of great pleasure and pride, which we shall always fondly cherish. Our heartiest welcome to each one and all of you. Thanks for privileging us. Welcome with all honor. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Professor Abhay Kumar Singh, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Nalanda University. And now I would like to invite Dr. Vinay Prabhakar Shahars-Budhe, Honorable President of ICCR, who denoued his precious time to this prestigious program. I invite him to address us all with his kind words.
Honorable former President of India, Sri Ramnath Kovind ji, Honorable Governor of Bihar, Sri Rajendra Arlekar ji, Honorable Chief Minister of Assam, Sri Himanta Vishwa Sharma ji, Honorable Minister of State for Culture and External Affairs, Srimati Meenakshi Lekhi ji, all the ambassadors present on the dais, Excellency the Ambassador of Egypt, Excellency the Ambassador of Chile, Excellency the Ambassador of Nepal, Excellency the Ambassador of Sri Lanka, and Excellency the Ambassador of Argentina, all the other members who are present on the dais, especially our co-host, the Acting Vice Chancellor, Sri Abhay Kumar Singh, DG ICCR, Sri Kumar Tuhin, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Jawaharlal Nehru University and an eminent academic, Dr. Shanti Shri Dholipuri Pandit, and dignitaries of the dais, Srimati Sunayana Singh ji, former Vice Chancellor, our colleague and one of the most successful mayors coming from the underprivileged tribal communities in India, Srimati Asha Lakra, who is the mayor of Ranchi and specially made it over here, and others present in the audience, members of the academia, students who are the scholars of the ICCR coming from different parts of the globe, ladies and gentlemen. Let me at the outset offer my greetings on this day of democracy. This is the International Day of Democracy, and very remarkably, the theme of this particular day today is democracy for the next generation. And therefore, it is very relevant for us to organize the first of its kind festival of democracy here in Nalanda, which is a temple of knowledge. And there are many students. So in a way, prospects of democracy depend upon how do they contribute to the cause of democracy. And therefore, in presence of so many young, talented students, we are observing this International Day of Democracy over here. I also extend hearty welcome to all of you, and especially the dignitaries, for this first of its kind Vaishali Festival of Democracy. As part of these opening remarks, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to reflect on why exactly this festival is being organized, and that too by the Indian Council for Cultural Relations. But before I do that, let me remember all those inspirational heroes who are in a way the sons and daughters of this very land of Bihar. Because from here we got the message of Gautam Buddha, Mahavir Jain, Emperor Ashok, Chandragupta Maurya, Arya Chanakya, and the legacy was taken forward even in the recent times by Lokanayak Jayaprakash Narayan, whom we just cannot forget. I'm sure members are aware that many here on the dais have fought for the struggle of Jayaprakash Narayan, struggle led by Jayaprakash Narayan to fight against the draconian rule of emergency in mid-70s. So I offer my tributes to the inspiring memories of all these heroes of this great land. Friends, democracy is a part of our culture. And as it happens, many a times culture is misconstrued, and people confine in their imagination that culture is only about music and dance. Also, democracy is also misconstrued, and people confine democracy is only about elections and debates in the parliament. But the trajectories of culture and democracies come together and merge in each other here in India in general and in Vaishali, Nalanda, Rajgir in particular. That is the reason why we are celebrating this festival of democracy here. Friends, it has been conventionally said that elections are festivals of democracy. True. But then, in the cacophony of electoral campaigns, many a times the democratic spirit and the values that democracy teaches us are lost. And when we celebrate anything, especially our festivals, it is all about togetherness, it is all about happiness, and it is all about resolves for the days to come. And that is what we are going to do here in this festival of democracy. Friends, I'm happy to share with you that at the setting of this particular occasion, the International Day of Democracy being celebrated by the ICCR in collaboration with the Nalanda University, right here in Nalanda, close to Vaishali and Rajgir and this very important, historically important region of our country, I must share with you that last 2 years, as a part of our Azadi Ka Amruta Mahotsav, ICCR was engaged in organizing Gen Next Democracy Network tours. And under these tours, and many excellencies, ambassadors are aware over here, that over 269 young members of parliament, ministers, legislators, mayors, deputy mayors, party functionaries, all below the age of 35, visited India for an experiential learning of India. A batch also went to Assam. I'm sure the Honorable Chief Minister is aware of that. And I'm really happy that the encouragement, the strongest encouragement came from our minister, who is our guardian minister as well, Srimati Meenakshi Lekhiji, who hosted almost all batches of the visiting delegates under the Gen Next Democracy Network program. And you know what these young delegates, who are young politicians, on whose shoulders lies the responsibility of sustaining the spirit of democracy, tell us? They told us that Indians must blow their trumpet more loudly, because global community is not aware of the democratic traditions in India. In a way, through this festival, we are trying to achieve that objective as well. Friends, as we know, our political democracy has its foundations in our spiritual democracy. Ekam Sat Vipra Bahuda Vadanti is the cornerstone of our idea of democracy. And therefore, it is very natural that here in this land, where we got the teachings of Mahatma Gautam Buddha, Mahavir Jain, and many others, that this festival is being celebrated. Yet another point that is very, very relevant today. If I talk about the future of democracy, I remember what a renowned academic, a professor known for her studies in democracy at the Kennedy School of Government, Srimati Pippa Norris, had once very eloquently mentioned. She had said, and she has titled her theory as Unified Theory of Democracy, where she says that liberal values and liberal democracy is important, but not enough. Along with liberal democracy, you have to have a kind of an efficient statecraft. And we have dignitaries over here who are known for both these things. Their commitment to liberal democracy, and especially with Himanta Vishwa Sharma ji here making all the way from Guwahati, I am really grateful to you. But he has become a kind of a symbol of good governance. And this good governance, this efficient statecraft, eventually is going to add value to democracy. Democracy today, it's something which nobody can oppose. It is politically correct to say everything about democracy, all good things. But people will be able to repose their confidence in the idea of democracy when and only when democracy delivers. And that is what the present government under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji has been very efficiently doing for the last 9 years. I'm sure all of you are aware. So friends, once again I extend a very hearty welcome to you all. Democracy is about recognizing individuality without understanding, without undermining the importance of collectivism. Which is why, for perhaps very relevantly, not for no reason, Mahatma Gautam Buddha taught us that Buddham Sharanam Gacchami, Sangham Sharanam, Buddham Sharanam Gacchami, and ended with Sangham Sharanam Gacchami. So the importance of collectivism, I believe, is something which just cannot be missed. I believe when we churn out ideas under this festival of democracy, we keep both individualism and collectivism in our mind and continue to contribute to the strength of democratic traditions in India. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your introductory remarks on Vaishali Festival of Democracy. Honorable President, ICCR, Dr. Vinay Sahasrabudhe, sir. And now, as we move forward in course of the special program, next is a very special and detailed documentary video on the evolution of Vaishali as democracy. Let's witness this through this video on Vaishali Festival of Democracy. Please play the video.
वैशाली, वर्ल्ड्स फर्स्ट एवर रिपब्लिक। राष्ट्रकवि रामधारी सिंह दिनकर ने अपने ग्रंथ में लिखा है, वैशाली जिनका प्रतिपालक, गण का आदि विधाता, जिसे ढूंढता
आज देश
उस प्रजातंत्र की माता।
एक क्षण पथिक यहाँ,
मिट्टी को शीश नवाओ, राज्य सिद्धियों की समाधि पर फूल चढ़ाते जाओ। Vaishali is an ancient city of Bihar and has taken its name from King Vishal of the Mahabharat age. Vaishali is one of the earliest instances of a civilization with a democracy that was found in the republics of ancient India. These republics were known as Mahajanapadas, and among these states were Vaishali, now in Bihar, which is believed to be the world's first ever republic. International Day of Democracy, observed on 15th September each year, is a global commemoration of the fundamental values of democracy and the importance of promoting and defending these values worldwide. This significant day serves as a reminder of the essential role that democracy plays in upholding citizen participation and fostering peace and harmony worldwide. In this context, the Indian Council for Cultural Relations is organizing Vaishali Festival of Democracy on 15th September 2023 in association with Nalanda University at Rajgir in Bihar. With the Vaishali Festival of Democracy, we aim to shine a spotlight on India's ancient and rich democratic traditions and promote global discussions on the democratic values in the modern world.
Thank you so much for this video presentation on Vaishali Festival of Democracy. Upcoming next is a very important video message from our Honorable Prime Minister of India on how to move forward with strengthening more holistically India as democracy.
सभाओं और समितियों के लोकतांत्रिक आदर्श सिखाते हैं। महाभारत जैसे ग्रंथों में गणों और गणतंत्रों की व्यवस्था का उल्लेख मिलता है। Democracy is one of our sacred and shared values. It has evolved over a long time and taken various forms of systems. Throughout history, however, one thing has been clear. Democracy is the spirit that supports equality and dignity.
Honorable Governor of Bihar and other honorable dignitaries to release this book, India Mainspring of Democratic Tradition. India Mainspring of Democratic Tradition, edited, written by Dr. Priyadarshi Datta, under the guidance of Dr. Shanti Shri Pandit, Vice Chancellor of Jawaharlal Nehru University, JNU. Our chief guest, Honorable former President of India and our Honorable Governor of Bihar and other honorable dignitaries are present. India's mainspring of democratic tradition. Thank you so much, sir. And now, I invite Honorable Vice Chancellor JNU to enlighten us all about the ideas propagated and enlisted in this book.
Honorable former President of India, Sri Ramnath Govindji, and let me tell you all, it is he who made me the Vice Chancellor of JNU. I thank him for it. Honorable Governor of Bihar, Namaskar sir. Honorable CM of Assam, Hemanta Biswa Sharma, a very popular, dynamic leader who has made Northeast a part of this country.
Honorable Sri Ramnath Kovindji, Chief Guest for today's program and former President of India. Sri Lekharji, Governor of Bihar, where we are. Sri Hemanta Biswa Sharma ji, CM of Assam. Vinay Sastry Buddhi ji, our our president of ICCR, my friend Kumar Tuhinji, DG ICCR, Ambassador of Argentina, Ambassador of Chile, Ambassador of Egypt, Ambassador of Nepal, Ambassador of Sri Lanka, Sri Shanti Shriji, VC JNU, and VC Nalanda University, Professor Abheji, my friend Asha Lakraji, a long time friend, and we've all known her struggles, and she is the real example of what empowerment is all about and how women in politics start to work, and especially being a woman who came from the tribal community, and how successful she has been in spite of her personal sacrifices and a lot of challenges that one has gone through. So her story, I would say, is the story of Vaishali Festival of Democracy. Festival of Democracy is about human spirit. It's about living up to certain ideals. It's about sharing and caring for not just yourself, but for the community at large, because in collective wisdom, you see what the existence is all about. I feel it's a momentous occasion where I've been asked to deliver a lecture, but I also feel some moments make momentous occasions, and this moment will be remembered for all times to come, because when you come together, it's just the beginning. When you work together, you become successful. So I'm very sure that all of us will be working together in carrying the idea of democracy. For many who are present here, many who have read the books the way books exist till date, and many a times all the speakers and things which we have heard till now have spoken about how Indian history was not given its due importance due to the imperialistic past that we had, due to many invasions which we suffered, and whole lot of material which got destroyed. But look at the roots of democracy in India, that in spite of destruction, in spite of pillage, in spite of degradation, in spite of disrespectful conduct, whole lot of evidence exists till date. And thus, it is this evidence which I will rely upon. In front of Mr. Kovind, it's very hard to say that Excellency, who's been a lawyer himself, I can only call myself as a student of law. And being a student of law, half the time your arguments are based on evidence. And the evidence could be literal, evidence could be archaeological, evidence could be through word of mouth, evidence could be from folk tales. So I'm going to discuss the evidence today. The evidence about Indian system of democracy comes from the very first text, the very first ideas, or the very first literature which mankind has known. And the literature which mankind has known is called Vedas. Nothing existed before Vedas. I mean, people would have existed. But in terms of literature, a literary value, it is the Vedas which is the ancient most text, not just in India, but in the globe. Now imagine the timeline which people have given it, which I'm sure is far beyond. And at that point in time, 1800 to 2000 BC is the timeline given. And at that point in time, 40 times in Rigved and about 9 times in Atharved, the word Ganatantra comes. If Ganatantra was not a good method of working, it wouldn't have acquired 40 different times mentioned in Rigved and at 9 different points in Atharved. And that goes to show that the system of democracy existed in Vedic period. And I'm going by the timeline of history. I'll come to Ramayana and Mahabharata, which many people describe as non-existent history. They call it mythology. I'll come to that subsequently. But I'm right now speaking on the history like Vedic period. Vedic period is definitely before Buddhist period. So many evidence people talk about is from Buddhist period, but before Buddhist period existed the Vedic period, and Vedas themselves mentioned about Sabha, Samiti, Sansad. As we understand it today, Sabha is assembly, assembly of commoners. Samiti is like upper house, it's the assembly of the elders. And Sansad, which is parliament, is about a mix of the two. And all these words repeatedly come in Vedas. We pass that phase, we pass the phase of Vedas, and next period we come through is pre-Buddhism and post-Buddhism. Many a text talk about the Gantantra, many a text talk about Mahajanpadas, many a text talk about Janapads, many a text talk about Nigams and Pogas, which is a grouping. So from corporation to management is all talked about in the Buddhist period and pre-Buddhist period. And there is evidentiary value to that extent by several forms of literature which exist. And I'll quote some, but before that, I would say that many of my friends, whoever come, are overawed by the diversity that exists in India. Many a times people talk about that how is this possible, that how come so many people live in this country with such diverse conduct, behavior, thoughts. And I would say all this is possible, especially when we deal with young leaders who come in Gen Next programs. And in those discussions, all of them ask that how is this possible in the first place? I said this is because democracy is part of our DNA. Democracy is not something which is imposed on us, but democracy is something with which we live. So there is a certain amount of acceptance. And that acceptance gets to be showcased and in various forms. And I'm going to mention something later in my address. But I would say the very first principle of democracy is will of the people. But even on earlier occasion, gave them shelter and looked after them. That is the great history of this country. And that is why pluralism and tolerance is what we have seen. Respect for others. Fayan mentions that when I visit and I look around, the king will take off his crown to feed the monks and to meet the Gram Adhyaksh, the headman of a village. I can definitely speak on behalf of my brother, Mr. Hemanto, that Hemanda, if there is a panchayat head who comes to see him, will probably leave his chair and get up to meet him because he knows and understands the value that headman from the village, tribal village, brings on the table. And how important it is to listen to those people, how important it is to incorporate those thoughts in the policy making. And that is what is the respect which we have showcased right from few century AD till now. And the rulers were there not to rule, but to serve, which gets to be seen repeatedly through the evidence. And I will quote Khalimpur copper plate. Khalimpur copper plate is talking about a king Gopal and how Gopal displaced another king who was incompetent. Same thing gets to be seen in Kharvela king Rudradaman I. Same thing gets to be seen in Prayagraj, the pillar of Samudragupt. And thus our history is replete with these evidences. And I must say, PM has already mentioned about the Vaikuntha Perumal Swami's inscription, which talked about the qualification, age, character of people who are going to be elected or who can even be nominated. And this is what is called responsive governance. Vijayanagar Empire, Krishna Deva Rai, governing through his governors, asking for the feedback. So I think when it comes, and again, dividing governance into provinces, nadus, mandalam, nadus, sthalas, and so on and so forth. What I'm trying to address is from Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj's Ashtapradhan, which talks about separation of power, how a particular Peshwa was accused of murder and also was given punishment, and that is separation of power is how the system operates. So I would end by saying and by quoting Robert Dahl, which says that for India, democracy is the national spirit, and that national spirit is what we live by. And democracy is not a system by which we are governed, as the Prime Minister has mentioned, and Prime Minister spoke about it in UNGA 76 session also. So it's important to mention it today, that India is about democracy, it is about democratic values, and it's about how important democracy has been, and it is celebrated as festival. We not only live by the principles, but we nurture it by celebrating it on daily basis. And you can see in the method in which we live, diversity which we possess, respect which we give, and that is the way of life for all Indians. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
From bottom of my heart, I would like to thank Srimati Meenakshi Lekhi ma'am, Honorable Minister, Minister of Culture and External Affairs, for your words of wisdom. Thank you so much, ma'am. And now, I invite Shri Hemanto Vishwa Sharma, Honorable Chief Minister of Assam, to address us with his views on today's program and to throw light upon the ideas of democracy with his words of knowledge. Honorable Chief Minister of Assam.
Honorable Sri Ramnath Kovindji, former President of India, Sri Rajendra Vishwanath Arlekarji, Honorable Governor of Bihar, Srimati Meenakshi Lekhi, Minister of State for Culture, External Affairs, Government of India, Dr. Binay Sahasrabuddhe, Honorable President, ICCR, His Excellency Dr. Shankar Prasad Sharma, Ambassador of Nepal, His Excellency Mr. Juan Ronaldo Anglo Monsalve, Ambassador of Chile, His Excellency Mr. Wael Mohammad Awal Hamid, Ambassador of Egypt, His Excellency Mr. Hugo Xavier Gabi, Ambassador of Argentina, His Excellency Mr. Ashok Milinda Moragoda, High Commissioner of Sri Lanka, Sri Kumar Tuhin, Professor Abhay Kumar Singh, Vice Chancellor, Nalanda University, Professor Santisi Dhulipudi Pandit, Vice Chancellor, JNU, ladies and gentlemen. I feel deeply honored to be present amidst this distinguished gathering today. I express my heartfelt gratitude to the organizer, Indian Council for Cultural Relations, and Nalanda University for the opportunity to deliver a few words in this enlightening discourse on the democratic tradition of Bharat. I also extend my sincere appreciation to all the participants who have contributed to this enriching dialogue. Today we are present in one of the prestigious seats of ancient education. The civilization of Bharat has a long history of establishing universities as center of excellence, and one of the most renowned among them was Nalanda University. Nalanda University offered education in subjects such as Vedas, medicines, grammar, logic, philosophy, spirituality, and mathematics. This prestigious institute exists from the 5th century CE to the 12th century CE. Nalanda University served as a model of higher education for both domestic and foreign students. Its representative was so esteemed that even the Chinese traveler and scholar Yuan-sang studied here during his visit to Bharat. Kumar Bhaskar Burma, a king from the region of Assam, extended an invitation to Yuan-sang to visit Kamrup as well. Today, we are celebrating Vaishali Festival of Democracy. Madam Meenakshi Lekhiji brought out evidences that how democracy was nurtured in India, rather born in India. Prime Minister has rightly quoted that India is not only a democracy, it is the Janani of democracy. I think now the way we are citing evidence that India is a mother of democracy, Janani of democracy, it is a Janani of democracy, I think almost we are in a phases where we are reclaiming that what we were. Now, all the time I question myself that democracy in India, we had democracy originated India. We know about Vaishali. We know about how in Rigbed we describe democracy. We know how the time of Mahabharata, Ramayana, Buddhist period, not only in Bihar is a mother of democracy, but even you go back to Assam, we celebrated democracy right from the time of Mahapurush Srimanta Shankardev, because all decision used to take only in the Namghar, whatever community has to take. So now all these are known to us. But when you go to the textbook, you will always find that as if India has got democratic value and system from somewhere. This is the question that we need to ask. Why our textbook? Why our curriculum? Why our ecosystem? Madam Santrisi ji has rightly questioned that we need to build an ecosystem. Now, who has destroyed that? Who has took us to the situation that first time a prime minister has to go and tell the world that we are Janani of democracy. But when India started, we were taught that no, you have taken democracy from somewhere else. As if the journey of India started from 1947. We need to be very clear in our mind. The journey of India started 5,000 years ago. And our constitution is just a reflection of what we were in the 5,000 years ago. The debate is going on. Many people in India feel that democracy started from 1947. But we know that democracy did not start at 1947. 1947, we have published a document, we have adopted a document. But document, inside the document, what was written, that is nothing new. That was there in our system, that is there in our society from 5,000 years ago. And 1947 adoption of constitution is just only a continuation of our civilizational process, nothing beyond. That is what I want to say in very clear terms. Our democracy, when people say the democracy is for the people, by the people, our democracy also define who are the people, who are the stakeholders. Our democracy defines that not only people of India is stakeholders. Our democracy defines that Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, entire global citizens, our stakeholders. It is not confined to one republic, one Janpada or one Mahajanpada. We go beyond, and that's the beauty of India. We can remember today, we are celebrating Festival of Democracy. We have seen the challenges. 1975, when there was a time when democracy was tried to be subtle, democracy was, emergency was imposed in our country. And that point of time, the article of Constitution did not give us back the democracy. Democracy was given given back to us by the people of India under the leadership of Joy Prakash Narayan. Our people protested. It was not that somebody in the Supreme Court or High Court has decided some petition and says, no, democracy is illegal and hence it is coerced. No mandamus was issued. Nothing, no direction was issued by any judicial institution to declare that democracy was illegal. It was issued, democracy was illegal, that was decided by the people of India. Democracy was restored by the people of India. And for that, many leaders gone to jail, many leaders did supreme sacrifice, and we rebuild democracy because we know that is our way of life, that is our spirit of life. Many people sitting in Delhi, they become guardian of democracy at that point of time, as if they have restored the democracy. But democracy in India was restored by the people of India, by the people of India themselves. Nobody has done that. Because it is our way of life. We cannot live a single day without democracy. We cannot take a single decision by ourselves. In our family, even what cloth we will wear in the morning, we have to discuss in our family that what cloth we need to wear. Because we cannot take any single decision by ourselves. Nobody can. I think in this hall, whoever is from this place or even who stayed in India a little bit more, they will realize that even in house, we cannot take a single decisions by ourselves. No, we have to take decision through collectively. We cannot take any decision individually. It is a crime in India. So if you take any decision by yourself, it is a crime that you cannot take that. That's the kind of spirit we have inherited. Today, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has reaffirmed, re-established, whenever he has gone to the country, he never says that India is a democracy. He always says that India is a janani of democracy. I think I'll request ICCR, I'll request everybody that there is a time that we have to recheck our textbook, we have to re-establish that, look, you do not teach us that Indian democracy has started from 1947. Don't talk in that way. There is not only enough evidence, you don't have to go to see the evidence. You see our family, you see our state, you see everything in India, you will see democracy all along. And in India, there is nothing excluding democracy. It is only democracy which is existent in our country. So, ladies and gentlemen, I feel great that today in Nalanda University, we are celebrating this festival of democracy. And in this festival of democracy, we must take the vow that we'll keep the spirit of democracy all along, and we'll also demolish the ecosystem which says that we have borrowed the democracy. We have to re-establish the fact that the mother of the democracy or janani of the democracy in India, and India will not only lead the democratic movement within the country, will lead the democratic movement all over the world, and time will come when we'll force even our neighbor to adopt democracy. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. India is the janani of democracy. Thank you so much, sir, for your words of knowledge. Honorable Chief Minister of Assam, Shri Hemant Biswa Sharma. And now, it's a proud moment for all of us that Honorable former President of India is present over here. I invite our Reverend Honorable former President of India, who is the chief guest of today's ceremony, to address us all with his words of wisdom and light.